Valójában ez idáig teljesen érthetetlen, hogy Chris miért vállalta ilyen lelkesen a poligráf tesztet. Vajon csak blöffölt és arra számított, hogy erre majd végül nem kerül sor? Vagy egyszerűen csak annyira naív volt, hogy arra számított, hogy a jó fiú állarc egy gépet is képes lesz meggyőzni? Akárhogy is, a gyanúsított egy kiskamaszra jellemző naivitással foglal helyet, mintha csak egy házi orvosi rendelőben lenne. Persze lehet ehhez nagyban hozzájárult a vizsgálatot lebonyolító nyomozóhölgy nyugalmat sugárzó közvetlensége.
Sit on this?
Yep, I know. I'll explain that here in a little bit, but you don't have to worry. It's not on or anything right now. It's not gonna buzz you or anything.
I've never done this before.
I know. A lot of people haven't had polygraphs before. It's not like a normal thing that people go through. A lot of people, like obviously in law enforcement and places like that, they have to go through polygraphs for their job. But other than that, most people never take a polygraph in their entire life. So
Yes, I have like no idea like what to expect, honestly.
yeah. So how are you feeling today?
I'm sick in my stomach, honestly. Like the first day I thought, okay, she was just somewhere.
Sure.
And after yesterday, all the activity at my house, I didn't know, it went to the other extreme. I've just been like sick in my stomach that either somebody has her or she's in trouble and the kids are not safe either.
Right.
Habár a poligráf teszt egy széles körben alkalmazott módszer az igazságszolgáltatásban, korán sem tekinthető egy 100%-os módszernek, és önmagában nem állja meg a helyét bizonyítékként sem. Kutatások és tanulmányok bizonyítják, hogy a módszerre hatékonyság tekintetében körülbelül egy 70-90%-os pontossága jellemző, mivel az eredményt nagyban befolyásolhatják különböző tényezők, például szorongás, egészségügyi problémák, valamint gyakorlott megtévesztés. A közhiedelemmel ellentétben a poligráf nem a hazugságot vizsgálja, hanem méri a kérdésekre adott válaszok által kiváltott fiziológiai reakciókat, például szív- és vérrendszeri reakció, légzés és a bőr vezetőképességének változását. Nyomozók ezeket a reakciókat kiértékelik és interpretálják, ami pozitív vagy negatív értéket rendel a különböző válaszokhoz. Mivel a fegyelmezett és higgadt alanyokon nehezebben mérhetőek ezek a fiziológiai reakciók, a nyomozóhölgy egy enyhe kognitív nyomás alá helyezi a gyanúsítottat azzal, hogy beszámol a magas képzettségeiről és felmagasztalja a módszer pontosságát, amellyel egy bizonytalanságot idéz elő az alany tudatalattiában, ezzel felerősítve a reakciókat a kényes kérdések során.
Obviously, you're probably nervous about taking today's test. Honestly, I would think something is wrong with you if you weren't nervous about coming in here to take a polygraph. Even if people are like, I don't have anything to hide, it is nerve-wracking. And I have taken tons of polygraphs. Obviously, in my training, I went to 10 weeks for training. I've been a polygrapher for about 5 years. I went to the best school in the country. So I want you to have confidence in the fact that if you had nothing to do with this disappearance, like we're going to find that out today. Okay. I have the best training that they offer in the United States. We use the most validated testing. That's the way I'm going to ask you the question. So believe me, if you had nothing to do with this, I will be able to show them that today. Okay. So that should give you some confidence that, this is how, like, you're going to be cleared today if you had nothing to do with it. Okay. There's actually only, nervousness or anxiety cannot cause you to fail a polygraph. A lot of people think that too, that if they're really nervous that it could cause them to fail. If that were the case, no one would be allowed to take polygraphs because every single person is nervous or anxious about taking a polygraph, okay?
I thought that's how it worked.
On nervousness? Yeah. No. There's actually only 2 ways you can fail a polygraph, okay? The first way would be if you fail to follow my instructions. I'm going to give you a lot of instructions today about how to sit still, how to answer questions, things like that. So if you fail to follow those instructions, you will not pass today's test, okay? The second way would be if you choose to lie to me today. Lie to me today, okay? Obviously, this is about 100% truth. Even if there's, something that you didn't tell the investigators, since Monday, I guess, is when you and the police were involved. If there's something that you didn't tell them since Monday, like, that is totally fine. Like, I get it. People aren't going to remember every single detail every time you talk to someone. As long as you tell me what the truth is today, you will have no problem with passing, okay? I promise you that. And obviously, I hope that, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today.
Exactly.
Right? Like, it would be really dumb. Like, you should not be here right now sitting in this chair if you had anything to do with Shanann and the little girl's disappearance. Okay? Okay. And it's Celeste and Bella, is that right?
Yeah, I'll call her CC too.
CC, okay.
If that comes up.
Okay, perfect. So, and I know very small amounts about the case.
Okay.
Just because I want because I want you to be able to tell me about the case. I don't want to have some preconceived notions about the case, and that's why I don't want you to assume that I already know details because you told Detective so-and-so, that kind of stuff. I want you to be able to tell me like you were telling someone for the very first time about what happened when we get into actually talking about what happened, okay? Obviously, Chris, you're not under arrest. I have no plans on arresting you. At any point today, if you decide you want to leave, the door is right there. It locks us in here.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw that last night.
So there's a key in there now, so you can, if you just turn the key, it lets you out, okay? And at any point today, even after all these components are attached to you, if you decide at that point, you know what, I don't want to take this polygraph, I don't want to be here, this is BS, whatever, that is completely fine. Just please allow me to unattach my components before you drag my $6,000 instrument on the floor and run out of here. And there's kind of a little maze back here, so I will show you the way out at any point if you decide, you know what, I don't want to take this polygraph, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this. That is completely fine. The door does have to be shut for privacy just because noise does affect the polygraph. And I will read you your rights today, and that's just because the polygraph components are pretty restrictive. They go around your chest and stuff, and you may feel at some point that you're not free to leave, but like I said before, at any point I will unattach all the components and show you the way out if you decide, even in the middle of the polygraph, if you don't want to continue to take.
Irányított hazugságteszt. Ennek a módszernek a célja a megtévesztés felismerése. A teszt során a gyanúsítottnak kontrollkérdéseket tesznek föl, és arra utasítják, hogy szándékosan hazudjon. Ezzel létrehoznak egy referenciapontot a fiziológiai reakciók méréséhez. Ugyanezt teszik egyszerű igazállításokkal is, például mi a neve, milyen nap van ma, vagy éppen milyen színű ruhát visel. Az ebből származó mért értékek referenciapontként szolgálnak majd az igaz válaszok kiértékeléséhez.
You're going to be taking what's called a directed lie polygraph. So what that means is there are going to be questions on the test where I want you to lie. Because I want to see what your body looks like when you tell a lie on the test. Okay. I know it seems kind of weird, but you're going to know which questions these are, and they're going to be easy to answer. So it's going to be like, they're all going to start with before 2018. So this first one is before 2018. Did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about? We've all lost our temper with someone we've cared about in our life. So I want you to think about, you don't have to tell me what it is, but I want you to actually have that moment in your mind when you actually lost your temper with someone you cared about.
Okay.
Whether it was with Shanann, whether it was with your parents, whether it was with your children, I mean, it could be with anyone, but it was...
You're going to say no to that one?
Yes, so you're going to actually lie to that question, since we all have lost our temper with someone we cared about before. So I'm going to say before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about? And you're going to say...
No.
Because you're telling a
lie.
Awesome. The next one of those, because there's only 3 of those, the next one's going to be before 2018. Remember, it's all going to start with that, before 2018. If you ever hear that on the test, that is your clue to go, crap, this is a question I have to lie to on the test. Okay?
Okay.
So this one's going to be before 2018. Did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
It's going to be...
Well, we've all said something out of anger to a loved one, but I want you to take a minute and actually think of a time when you've actually said something out of anger to a loved one. You have something in your head?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I want you to actually think of that when you answer this question on the test. Okay. So again, before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one? You're going to say,
no.
Because you're telling a
lie.
The last one is before 2018. Have you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them? Not that you actually hurt them, but that maybe they pissed you off so bad, that you were like, oh, I can punch that guy in the face right now, or, whatever. Not that you actually ended up even hurting anyone, but that you ever thought about hurting someone to get even with them. So I want you to take a moment and think about a time. And just make sure that you do have something in your head.
Okay.
Got it? So when I ask you this question on the test, before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them? You're going to say,
no.
Because you're telling a
lie.
Awesome. The next questions are what we call known truth questions. They're going to be really easy to answer. So it's going to be, is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Good. Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Are you now sitting down?
Yes.
Are the lights on in this room?
Yes.
Do you understand that I will only ask you the questions we have discussed? That's the last question. Okay. So we just went through every single question on the test.
Okay.
So the only questions that you'll hear come out of my mouth. Okay, so let me go through those one more time, and you just say yes or no how you would answer them on the test, okay?
Okay.
Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions truthfully?
Yes.
Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
Before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about?
No.
Before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
No.
Before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them?
No.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Are you now sitting down?
Yes.
Are the lights on in this room?
Yes.
Do you understand that I'll only ask you the questions that we have discussed?
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Ezután következnek a vizsgálat szempontjából lényeges, releváns kérdések, amelyek az adott ügyhöz kapcsolódnak, itt a gyanúsítottnak igazat kell mondania. Hazugság esetén a mért értékek akár a kontrollkérdéseknél mért értékek többszörösét is produkálhatják, ami a közvetlen fenyegetésből származó stressznek köszönhető. Ha az alany erősebb fiziológiai reakciót mutat a releváns kérdésekre, mint az irányított hazugságokra, az megtévesztésre utalhat. Ha a válaszai hasonlóak vagy enyhébbek, az az ártatlanságát jelezheti. A próbateszt során olvasott értékek szerint Krisz nagyon rosszul tud hazudni, és ezt az eredményt a nyomozóhölgy készségesen meg is osztja vele, ezzel további pszichológiai nyomás alá helyezve a gyanúsítottat.
The test is about to begin. Please remain still. Do you understand that I'll only ask you the questions we have discussed? Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions truthfully?
Yes.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them?
No.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
No.
It's pretty normal. Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation.
A poligráfteszt kiértékelése során bebizonyosodott, hogy a Shannonre és a kislányokra irányuló kérdésekkel kapcsolatban Krisz minden esetben hazugsággal válaszolt. Most, hogy a nyomozók meggyőződtek arról, hogy Krisz az első számú és egyetlen gyanúsított, a következő feladat számukra ennek a bizonyítása. Emlékezzünk vissza, a poligráfteszt önmagában nem állja meg a helyét bizonyítékként. A nyomozóknak részleges vagy teljes vallomásra, valamint kézzelfogható bizonyítékra van szüksége.
really clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Right.
Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. And I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise. Chris, I know stuff. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
Ennél a lépésnél, ha a gyanúsított tagadja a bűncselekményt, a nyomozók közömbösen vagy lekezelően reagálnak. A cél a gyanúsított meggyőzése arról, hogy a tagadásnak nincs értelme.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this. And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today. And you knew I was going to find out because I told you that. And then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what? I just need to get this off my chest. Like, I need to tell you what happened. We're not here to play games. We're not here to do any of that with you. We just want to know what happened. So can you start from the beginning and tell us what happened?
Everything that I had told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I can tell you right now. Like, I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph. So I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste.
A nyomozók új stratégiával állnak elő annak érdekében, hogy szóra bírják Kriszt. Ez a stratégia a bűnügyi filmekből már sokak számára ismerős lehet, és amely az amerikai szakirodalomban futility technikként ismeretes. Személy szerint én magyarul a hiába valóság technikájaként fordítanám, és amint arra a név is utal, itt a cél az, hogy meggyőzzék a gyanúsítottat arról, hogy ettől a ponttól kezdve minden hazugság és tagadás teljességgel hiába való. Kicsit jobban kifejtve, a hiába valóság technika egy pszichológiai kihallgatási módszer, amelyet a nyomozók arra használnak, hogy meggyőzzék a gyanúsítottat, az ellenállás értelmetlen, és a vallomástétel a legjobb megoldás. A technika arra épít, hogy a gyanúsított azt érezze, bűnössége már bizonyított, és a tagadás csak feleslegesen meghosszabbítja az eljárást. A gyakorlatban ez úgy néz ki, hogy a nyomozók úgy mutatják be az ügyet, mintha a gyanúsított bűnössége kétségbe vonhatatlan lenne. Kiemelik a tárgyi bizonyítékokat, tanúvallomásokat, videófelvételeket, vagy lásd ebben az esetben a poligráf tesztet, akár léteznek, akár nem. A cél a gyanúsított csapdába ejtése és tehetetlenségérzés kiváltása.
That's the issue right now. Okay. So let's talk about that. I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this. Like, okay. I'm not like trying to like cover things up. Like,
I mean, you kind of are because it's normal. Normal people will do that. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. It's just like if you ask your kid, did you write on the wall? And they go, no. You're like, you have a marker on your hand. Like, I know you just wrote on the wall. They're like, oh, okay. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time.
Miután a gyanúsított úgy érzi, hogy nincs menekvés, a nyomozók a vallomást a legkönnyebb megoldásként tálalják. Elhitetik vele, hogy az együttműködés kedvezőbb következményekkel és enyhébb büntetéssel jár. Itt a cél a gyanúsítottat arra késztetni, hogy maga is elhiggye, a vallomás az egyetlen észszerű lehetőség. Pszichológiai aspektusból vizsgálva a cél a kognitív diszonancia előidézése, miszerint ha a gyanúsított úgy érzi, hogy a tagadás nem segít, akkor a vallomás csökkentheti a belső feszültséget.
This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
I'm not trying to make anything continue. Like, I want them back home, like.
But you know they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
But you know they're not.
I hope they come back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know they're not coming back home.
Miután a nyomozók elvégzik a kezdő támadást, és Chris kellőképpen pánikhelyzetbe kerül, hirtelen visszavesznek a nyomásgyakorlásból, és átérnek a józsarú, rosszsarú módszerre. Ezzel a módszerrel a gyanúsított negatív érzelmeket él át, például félelem, szorongás vagy feszültség, majd hirtelen megkönnyebbülést kap, az agy ezt az enyhülést sokkal erősebbnek érzékeli, mint amilyen valójában. Ennek oka a kontraszthatás, amely felerősíti az egymást követő ellentétes tapasztalatok intenzitását. Több egymást követő stimuláció hatására kognitív túlterhelés lép fel, mert az agy nem tudja egyszerre feldolgozni a két szélsőséget, így a gyanúsított hajlamos elfogadni bármilyen megoldást, amely stabilitást ígér, akár egy vallomást is. Ebben az esetben a nyomozó megpróbálja növelni a gyanúsított önbizalmát dicséretekkel. A cél, hogy a gyanúsított kényelmesen és megbecsülve érezze magát. Chris esetében ez a módszer elég hatékony, mert láthatóan ki van éhezve mindenfajta elismerésre. Ez jellemző alacsony önbecsüléssel rendelkező és narcisztikus jegyekkel rendelkező alanyoknál.
Chris, Tim and I are confused. Okay? And here's what we're confused about. I told you that we've done some work overnight.
Yeah.
I told you that we've got a lot of leads. Okay? That wasn't a lie. We know a lot more than you think we do. Okay? And here's where we're confused. You're this great guy, and I'm not just telling you that, okay? I'm telling you that because everyone tells us that. Okay? We can't find anyone to say anything bad about you. Chris is a great guy. He's a good father. He's a good man. We're confused as to why you're not taking care of your beautiful children.
I'm not taking care of them right now.
Right now. Where are they?
I don't know where they're at. I'm honest, I do not know where they are at. If I could have my babies back home right now, I would. I want them back. I want everybody back. That is the God honest truth.
So let's keep talking about your family. Okay? We just can't figure out why there's two Chris's. Okay? We were talking about that last night.
Yes.
We just can't figure it out. There's a Chris, okay? If somebody asked me my favorite child routine, I would say, I don't know, go after them all. That's the truth, right? And so it is very surprising to me, and it warms my heart that you're the type of dad who can pack a bag in the morning, and you know just what to put in there, and you know just what to put in there as a backup in case they have an accident, okay? You know what the clothes to put in there, you know what they have for breakfast, you know what they have for a snack, and a dinner, and a nighttime snack. You can tell me the book you read to your daughters, okay? I know you love them. And you're not faking that, are you? That's real, okay? There's a lot of guys who come in here and try to tell me that, and I know they're lying, okay? Because they can't answer those questions that you can answer, okay? But you are here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay?
That's your daughter.
I know. And this is very good.
I'm not proud of it. I don't think anything like that could happen. I don't think I would ever do it, but I did.
I know. Just keep going.
She accused me of it. I denied it. I cheated on her, and I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was, I don't want to, I didn't hurt her. I cheated on her. I hurt her emotionally. I cheated on her. And I feel absolutely horrible about this, but that's what I've been holding. I think that when I didn't go to the Rocky game, I was with her.
Okay.
I went to dinner with her.
Okay. Keep going.
That 5 weeks I was alone, I was with her most of the time.
Okay. You're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today. This is the Chris who tells the truth because you're a truth teller.
When I say I thought I loved, I fell in love with her.
Absolutely.
Okay? I mean, that's the God honest truth.
Okay. Who is her?
So I don't want to get her involved in this. I don't want to ruin her life.
Like it's something like this, I don't want her involved in this. Okay. I don't think this girl did anything to hurt anybody, but I can't walk out of here wondering. So, can we leave her out of it? Okay. Get back to your wife and your daughters. Okay. Where are they?
That I do not know. That was what I was holding back. Like, I didn't know, like, what I did.
I know, Chris, in an interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. You were asked about...
I was holding back from last night.
That's why you feel today.
That's not how it works. You would have reactions to every single question, not just the ones that we talked about being important.
Like the ones you wanted me to lie about, like, is that what you're talking about?
No, the ones about her disappearance and knowing where she's at and about she and her lives.
I was not lying about those things. So,
can I tell you what I think?
Yes.
Okay. So, going into that interview today with County, where we strapped you in, we knew all about Nikki. Okay? All about her. And you're doing a very good job right now, because you didn't have to tell us about it, but you did.
I couldn't hold that anymore.
We could see it in your chest, and in your eyes. Okay? Here's the challenge that we have. We knew about Nikki, and so we didn't need to ask you about her in the polygraph. We just didn't need to, because we knew. Okay? And so that's why we didn't ask you. We already knew the answer. Okay? We're very, very worried about your daughters and your wife.
I am too.
Okay? So can I tell you, maybe based on the people that I've talked to and Tammy's talked to, based on all the investigations we've done, based on your cell phone, both your cell phones, your wife's cell phone, Nikki's cell phone, okay, based on talking with family members and friends, and based on talking with everyone, here's what we know, okay? And I'm not gonna lie to you right now, here's what we know, okay? Chris is a good man. Everyone said it. Okay, I'm not just telling you that because I, want to blow smoke here. You're a good man, okay? Nobody can fake answers about packing a backpack. Nobody. You either pack a backpack for your kids or you don't, okay? This should have been the happiest time of your marriage, okay? Even Shanann, this should have been the happiest time. She's making a little money, she's making good money. You're making great money, you both have a job. You have beautiful kids, you have a beautiful house, you're in Colorado, clean air, good people, okay? And on top of that, you look pretty good now. You're pretty fit, okay? This should have been the time in your marriage where you guys were happy and thriving and productive, okay? And I believe that Shanann's the reason none of that happened. I believe that she's a controlling person. Maybe doesn't listen to you as much as she should. I think that she can do whatever she wants and you can't. Okay? And the other thing I think is interesting is, even though she is that type of person that's controlling, doesn't listen, does what she wants, is walking away from her kids, here you are defending her. Because to your core, you want to take care of the people you love. Okay? And that's the reason why we want to give you an opportunity today to just help us find them, okay? Will you do that for us?
I'll do whatever I can to help to find where they're at.
Okay. So when she asks you, do you know where they are, or are you going to tell the truth about where they are, you failed miserably. Okay? Why?
I'm a nervous person. Like every question I asked, every question, it felt like I wouldn't say the right thing.
That's not how the polygraph works. Tell them about that night again, and please tell the truth. Stop.
I told you the truth. I promise I told you the truth. Like, we woke up at 4 o'clock. I woke up at 4 o'clock. Got dressed, got ready. 4:15, me and talk about the house, about separation.
You guys talk about Nikki?
She accused me of like, all right, is there somebody else?
Sure.
I didn't care.
You denied it?
Yeah.
Okay. And so it sounds like at that time there was maybe you weren't quite ready to just say, this is not everything.
I couldn't say it.
Okay.
We were already trying hard enough. I couldn't say that.
Okay. Okay. How is it possible that a woman and 2 kids are just completely gone off the face of the earth?
I promise you, I have nothing on my hands. I did nothing to those kids or her to make them vanish.
So tell me what happened then. I believe you that you did nothing on your hands. What happened?
When I left, I mean, it's on video that I left and I was in my truck. I didn't load anything into my truck besides my tools, my container, my book bag, my water jug, my lunchbox.
Okay. But then what happened?
I drove out of the driveway.
No, before you drove out of the driveway. What happened with your wife and your kids?
I didn't do anything like that. They were still in the house.
Where are they? Where did they go?
I don't know, sir. I really don't know.
Your wife's not the type of person to vanish.
I know she's not.
She had 10 things on her schedule that meant she was going to be there the next day, that day, the day after that, with friends, with a doctor. Okay? She didn't leave because she wanted to.
Right.
So what happened?
I didn't do anything to her or the kids.
Was it an accident?
I didn't do anything.
Was it an accident?
There was no accident. I don't know if there was an accident in the house. I wasn't there for it.
It's a big deal if it's an accident, because we can work with that, Chris.
No.
And I think that's maybe what happened.
I did not cause an accident. I didn't do anything to my wife and kids.
Was it a misunderstanding?
There's some misunderstanding. We had a talk. There was a misunderstanding where I didn't tell her about the affair.
Okay.
I didn't. That was a misunderstanding.
Like miscommunication,
Yeah.
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Good.
But I probably should have told her right then. Honestly. I mean, everything's out on the table anyways.
Right.
I should have told her right then. But I didn't, because I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
What was your plan? What were you going to do? I mean, how was the separation going to work?
Like, once we got separated, I would get my own place, and then we, 50-50 split with the kids, that's what I was hoping.
Mm-hmm. And what about Nikki?
Take it slow and just see if anything develops, have my own place.
Okay.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here.
No.
Not one. And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds, and I start to go panic. I have not seen any of that from you at all. Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do anything just because I haven't shed a tear. You can't.
Yeah, no, that's weird. Is that weird?
Don't look into that like I don't love my kids. I love my wife.
Explain to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her,
Yeah.
but you don't cry that your 2 little baby
I'm
girls.
hoping they're still around. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
Yeah, but you don't have them right now. You're not reading stories to them at night.
I know.
You're not giving them midnight snacks. You're not giving them their medicine. You're not waking up with them in the morning.
I know this.
So that should cause you pain.
It does cause me pain.
But I don't see that. I want to see the Chris that cares. I want to see the Chris that, feels bad about what he did and wants to, get this off his chest and be done with this. And let us find your little girls so that they're not out there in the middle of a field or whatever somewhere. Don't do that.
I love those girls.
Then show us that. Show us this Chris, not this Chris.
I'm not showing you that. I'm showing you the Chris that cares about his girls and his wife. Just because I haven't shed a tear shouldn't make you feel like I haven't, that
the love isn't there for them.
It's weird. It doesn't make sense.
I understand that.
You have to.
I totally see where you're coming from. Trust me, like, there's nothing. Just because
People can be pushed to the point where they do something that they regret. It happens every single day.
I know.
But part of what makes you a man is the guy that goes, really fucked up, but this is what I did, and I'm going to pay for what I did, and I'm going to tell you what I did, and I'm going to be honest about it.
Chris, we can keep talking to you once we find these girls, okay? So once we find these girls in your life, right, no matter how we find them, no matter what condition they're in, we can keep talking to you. You can tell us, guys, it's not as bad as it looks. And you can say, let me tell you what happened. I was never comfortable with you, Graham, or with you, Tam. I wasn't comfortable yet, but now that everything's known, now that the girls are found and Shanae's found, however they're found, it's okay. We can keep talking to you.
Chris, did Shanae do something to them?
No, I don't know.
I'm serious.
I have no clue.
Like, you would have known. They didn't leave the house. Did Shanae do something to them, and then did you feel like you had to do something to Shanae?
They were at the house when I left. They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished. The only way they could have left is in your truck.
There's no way, because, like, I didn't just throw them in my truck. Okay.
You know your truck is GPS,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because you told your boss, like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to celebration, I'm going to be staying at a friend's house, whatever. You know that thing pings every 10 seconds?
Yep.
So we will know exactly where you went.
And your company's giving that to us. Okay. Are we not asking the right questions, Chris?
You're asking all the questions.
What are we not asking you right? What are we doing wrong?
You're not doing anything wrong.
Did Shanae do something?
If she did anything to these kids, we both love them with all our hearts. There's no way.
You said it was an accident. Something happened in the house that you know about.
Ez a kihallgatási módszer a rédmódszer egyik eleme, mely arra szolgál, hogy vallomásra bírja a gyanúsítottat azáltal, hogy két lehetséges magyarázatot kínál a tettére. Az alternatív kérdés alkalmazása előtt a kihallgatást végző nyomozónak már meg kell gyengíteni a gyanúsított ellenállását pszichológiai eszközökkel, például az elkövetés bagatelizálásával, vagy a felelősség áthárításával, akár az áldozathibáztatás ötletével. Ez utóbbi technika bizonyul a leghatékonyabbnak Chris esetében, tekintettel a láthatóan narcisztikus személyiségzavarára és önértékelési zavarból eredő megfelelési kényszerére. Az ilyen típusú gyanúsított mindent megtesz azért, hogy kivívja és megőrizze mások elismerését. Nagyon jól megfigyelhető, hogy bármikor a lányokról vagy Shannonről van szó, az abszolút hidegen hagyja Christ, és egyszerűen tovább lép annak ellenére, hogy milyen borzalom történhetett velük. Viszont amint Chris egóját vagy megítélését éri támadás, az azonnali érzelmi reakciókat vált ki belőle. A kihallgatást végző nyomozó két verziót kínál fel a történtek magyarázatára. Az egyik egy enyhébb, érthetőbb magyarázat, amely a gyanúsítottat jobb színben tünteti fel, ez gyakran áldozathibáztatást és véletlenszerű eseményt foglal magába. A másik egy súlyosabb, erkölcsileg elítélhetőbb verzió, amely kegyetlenséget és szándékosságot sugall.
You failed the polygraph test, right? So it's not about did you leave and your wife vanished and you didn't know anything about it. That was not what you were asked, okay? We know that something happened to all three of them. But I want to know, did something happen to these baby girls first that you had to take into your own hands and deal with?
You had to clean it up for Shanae.
Chris, you gotta tell us. There's something that happened to these baby girls. Look at them.
I know. Before you came in, I was watching videos.
We have no doubt you love these girls with all of your heart. And no doubt. But we make mistakes.
That's okay.
It's what we do with those mistakes that make us who we are.
Chris, it seems like you're thinking about it right now. What are you thinking about?
Shouldn't have.
I feel like you cleaned up for her. I feel like that's the type of guy that you are. Which one of these has the breathing thing?
Well, they both have inhalers, but she has the EOE. And check where there's nothing drives.
Does she have problems breathing?
Probably like with her allergies and whatnot, like if she had anything next, but she's one with the endoscopies and everything and the surgeries I told you about.
Do you think she had trouble breathing that night? And Shanann freaked out? And didn't want to live without her baby girl? That's what caring dad does.
I mean, I'm always caring for these kids. There's nothing in this for my life.
I believe that. I believe that, and I believe someone made a mistake, whether it was you or Shanann. And you either cleaned up after Shanann or you made the mistake, and I mean, I want to believe that maybe Shanann did it and you felt compelled to fix this so Shanann didn't look bad. That's what I want to believe. But I don't know, you're not telling me that, so it makes me think the worst. Like, did you not tell all three of them?
I did not do anything to these kids. Not anything.
What did Shanann do them? Tell us, Chris. Chicks are crazy.
Can I talk to my dad or something?
Absolutely.
Go.
Do you want to bring him in here?
No, I just talk to my dad, like, flew across the country.
Hey, Chris, how about this? If we brought your dad in here, would you please tell him what happened?
Can I just go talk to him? I've been in here for like 5 hours and I'm like,
Absolutely. Chris, look at me, man. It's not going to feel any better. He deserves an answer.
She's your best friend.
There's only one person you want to hear most, and it's your dad.
good.
What would you tell him?
I love him and I just want him to be by my side.
Okay. He knows more than we do that you're a good man. And he knows as much as you want to protect your wife, Shanann. I think he would tell you to do the right thing. Before we get him.
Can I go out there and talk to him?
Well, I don't know that you want to do it out there because there's a lot of people who go through the halls. Should we bring him in here?
We'll step out. Okay.
Do you need a few minutes with him? Okay. Can we just ask a couple more questions? It seems like you're about to get it off your chest. Is there any way that you can help us understand more about Shanann and why maybe something happened? So that we don't get a bad picture about her. And what I mean is, what happened that night with her?
Shortly after I talked to her.
With the girls?
Like when we were having that conversation in bed there. Like when I talked to her about the separation and the house and she asked me about the affair and that's how that conversation went. God, she was distraught. She did like mascara on her face, all that. I mean, it was emotional.
Well, how about this? If we bring in your dad, will you promise me that you'll talk to him?
I'll talk to him.
Okay. Will you promise me that you'll tell him everything? Would it be easier if you told him he told us? I don't know. Okay. I don't know if that's gonna be easy or not. I tend to think it's not. I think you're the type of guy that needs to take responsibility because you always have taken responsibility. You've always made the right choice. So I guess I'm just worried that if we bring your dad in here, that could distract you. What do you think?
Distract me from, like, talking to you?
Yeah.
I decided to talk to him.
Okay. All right. I know you'll do the right thing. I do. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I think that you need to think a little bit more about that. Okay?
And you need to realize that your dad is not going to stop loving you no matter what you tell him. You are his child, and he will not stop loving you.
Never.
Ever.
And this is not the last chapter in anyone's story. At all. Okay? He's been here the whole time. You know, he didn't want to leave you. Have you ever seen, sometimes when an animal's owner dies, they stick around forever? I think that's your dad. Poor guy didn't want to leave today, okay? So, keep that in mind. He wants to hear it all. All right. Hey, Chris, we're going to have however much time you need, okay?
Sure. You gonna leave this in there or no?
Yes.
Sure.
What's wrong? Or
It's polygraph. Failed it. Yeah, 'cause there's
too much emotions.
So I mean, they're not gonna let me go.
Is there any reason why I shouldn't?
They know I had an affair. And they know. I can't think about that.
They let you have an affair. Anything else you want to tell me? What's going on? Or what happened or anything? Don't think about it.
When we had that conversation that morning, it was emotional, it was told her about separation and everything like that.
What happened to them?
I'm downstairs. I don't want to protect her.
What?
I don't want to protect her.
You don't want to protect her?
I don't know what else to say.
She hurt him?
Yeah. And then
What now?
I tell her.
You're a girl. Did they leave after that? So she started her games. Oh, okay. Well, just, you smell it. Or so.
I didn't hear anything. I don't know, it's not fair.
talking to her about that. Talking to her about separation and everything was up, and she lost. I don't know, like, what else to say, like, I can tell. Those are my kids. She you were able to do work. She freaked out over the separation of them. I don't think it was, she laid back down, but that's not downstairs, but I heard like a little commotion upstairs, but I didn't think anything of it. And then we went back upstairs and she was there. I could see like she was up. I'm joking at her. Did she get on? Hair blue. Both of them. Yeah. She took both of them dead. I forgot what she had made with her. I was like, I'll take the. I figured like call the cops about it. So when you do all the body dogs on. I mean, I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know, but I didn't know nothing else to do. I didn't know what to do. Actually killed those 16 long children there. Lost it and choke her or no. That's just rage. I
Az ügyvéd szó hallatán a nyomozók azonnal beavatkoznak, mielőtt ilyen közel a célhoz visszahallgatást választaná és ügyvédet kérne. A nyomozók most egy lépéssel közelebb kerültek az ügy felgöngyölítéséhez, viszont egyelőre még nincsenek meg a holttestek, és a kislányok halálának a körülményei is tisztázatlanul maradtak. Kihasználva a gyanúsított hirtelen elérzékenyülését, a nyomozó hölgy azonnal taktikát vált, és együttérzés színlelve igyekszik minél több információt kiszedni Chrisből. Természetesen mindez csak egy újabb taktika. A nyomozóknak egészen más az elképzelésük a gyilkosság körülményeiről, tekintettel a gyanúsított szokatlan viselkedésére.
Chris, help us move through this with you, okay? Can you tell us what you told your dad?
After that conversation, we had, and she accused me of the affair, and she, in her heart, she knew what was going on. And she knew about the day the other night. It was too much for just me. No. When I told her I went to a Rocky game, I went out to bed. I went downstairs. And this one before about the separation. Well, that was when I was upstairs in bed. For, what I wanted, and if I wanted to
separation. That's what I want. I'm downstairs. Started packing up a few things. I heard a couple of things upstairs, but I didn't think of it. Jimmy was, one thing, and get ready to get everything packed up. I went upstairs, I was gonna talk to her again. I saw on the monitor. Those covers were like pulled off and she was laying there. She was hot. So I go over to she was in her bed. I was off for freaked out. I ran in there, got on top of her.
What did you do?
I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. I'm shaking. I put my kids were flu and they're gone. I'm just like flying to just, I'm not that person, like, mistake. She hurt my kids. Like I did the same thing to her.
Well, where are they?
That first location I went to that day.
What would you ever do? Are you sure?
What's gonna happen? We're gonna have to get out of there. Do you like what? Would you prefer them when you're one of your coworkers? Oh my god, no. 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 I can't. You're about to become a good man. They're gonna think that you're like, what the fuck did you do, Chris? Like,
Whereabouts? The Shan and the girls. The bird, just Maria. Is that S for Shan? Okay, and where are the girls at?
here.
In these? So which one is the other one?
Are they in the tanks? Can somebody who doesn't know what they're doing open those? Okay, feed it over.
What's in the tank?
It's a mixture of oil and water.
Is there anything else about anything out here that has stuff that you've left in certain spots, or you sure their blankets and toys aren't going to be in there as well?
Not because it was right here with this.
Can you do me a huge favor and just write your name on the bottom? Just so I know that we didn't make those marks. Thanks. gonna write the date on it, okay? 8/15/18 and 5/56.
Was she wearing, was your wife wearing any shorts or pants or anything just under? Okay. Do you know what they look like?
Blue.
Blue. Okay. And the girls, do you know what their pajamas were?
They're both.
Can we talk about a couple tough things? I think we need to get it out of the way and just really get it out, just to make sure you have every chance to explain exactly what happened and we have every chance to ask questions. So can we talk about, again, it's very, very hard to talk about, but it's good to make sure that we understand. We don't want anything to be incorrect or inaccurate or anything like that. Was your wife on top of Cece? What did that look like? I mean, was she straddling? Okay. And where were they?
In the bed.
On the bed. And so your wife was on top. Is it? I mean, was she?
That's when I was walking out to the back.
Okay. And she saw from the back.
Yeah.
Okay. But she was doing this.
It looked like this.
Yeah. Okay. And then was Cece face up, face down? Or?
Off to the side.
Oh, she was laying on her side. Okay.
And that's when I pulled her off.
Okay.
She was limp and she was blue.
Okay.
There was no movement at all.
Oh, she was limp and blue, or limping and blue?
Limp and blue.
Limp and blue. Okay.
It's like her body was like,
Right.
you pick her arm up and it was false.
Okay. And then what happened?
I looked at her and I just on top of her and
You on top of Chanel?
did the same thing.
Okay. Did you have to knock her down?
No.
She was already on the ground?
I just pulled her off on the bed.
Oh, kind of one movement?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not as though you
No, I didn't
pulled her off?
No. Like I went up, pulled her down. Like I said, I didn't know. I lost it.
Sure.
So
Okay.
Shanann was laying on the ground? Or
On the bed.
on the bed?
Yeah, like when she was on top of you, I saw what was happening. I pulled her, went down. I was
How
on
big
the
was
bed.
the bed? What kind of, size is it, full queen, you know?
I think it's it's probably a queen of some sort. Some kind of a 6 foot somewhere. I think.
Did she put her fight?
I lost it so much that it didn't feel like she did.
Okay. You're a pretty strong dude. Did she yelling? Was she screaming? Was she talking? Was she scratching you? Nothing.
I didn't feel. I just felt such anger that nothing. I didn't feel anything.
Okay. All right.
Like if she did, nothing's on me.
Was it quick? Was it slow? Was it?
Sometimes I felt like it was over.
Fast? Over fast? Okay.
Felt like
Is it possible her neck's broken?
No. So
Okay.
I've never broken a bone, so I don't know.
Okay. All right. Was it a choke like this, or was it like a headlock?
A choke.
Okay.
Can you put your hands out like you had your hands?
Like that.
Like that? And your wife, you saw her with one hand or two hands?
I just kind of from the back. I couldn't really tell. I don't know, she was on top of her. And the monitor's not like color, it's black and white. Well, at nighttime it's black and white.
Okay.
When it's dark.
Because you went up the stairs, right, to talk to
Mm-hmm.
Shanann again? And then, did you think it was weird that she found in the room where you left her?
Mm-hmm. So I walked in and looked around, saw the monitor, and I saw Bella. And then switched over to CT pretty fast, and that's when I saw that.
Did you have any inkling that between the time that you finished the talk and the time that you found Shanann choking Cece, you had no inkling she was going to do it? Or?
We both of those did more than no.
Okay. Is it possible that when we get these girls, Bella, Cece, and Shanann, is it possible when we get them that we're going to see anything other than the cause of death being her hands?
No.
Okay. And what I mean by that, and I should be very clear, is that it's some of it's hard to believe that your wife did it, right? You can imagine that. Okay. So is it possible that maybe she did one, and then you got Shanann, so you did to Shanann what she did to one of your daughters, and then you had to just do it to the other one? Okay. So is that's not what happened?
No.
Okay. Is it possible that, is there any other way where we might see your hands on the girl's neck?
No, we're not.
Okay. And you know what I mean? Because when we find their little bodies, we're going to see the diameter of someone's hand and someone's fingers, right? So is that all possible? We're going to see yours?
No.
All right. And I know it's hard, and I know you're probably getting angry at my question, but we have to ask. Okay.
What do you think about that?
Let my family down. Let my dad down, let my mom, sister, nephew, nieces, friends, co-workers. Everybody.
Can I ask you a really tough question? You just get it all on the table. When you see Shanann choking, strangling Celeste, and you get her off of Celeste, did you think about calling in the ambulance?
I see you back in there floating them. And I've never seen something like that in my life. And she just lay over, nothing she wasn't moving at all, no gas, no breath. She was totally just blue.
So Chris, you've been doing this job for a long time.
I know.
I know a lot about psychology and as far as what people are thinking. Most parents will never even want to fathom that their kid is dead. Even if their kid's stiff, blue in bed, and stiff been dead all night, they still call an ambulance to see if someone can revive their child. And when the ambulance gets there and they're like, gosh, their kid's been dead all night, there's nothing we can do. The parents are like, why are you not doing something? What are you talking about? That's what we're used to. So that's why I want you to explain to me what was going on in your head and
the rage I felt for what she did. It just took over.
But you see that
I
kind of
understand. I see where you're coming from.
Most parents would still try and
I
call.
see where you're coming from.
Because you can imagine that we're pretty cynical in our jobs, right? And tonight we've had to talk a lot about a lot of things. And don't get mad, but what it looks like is that you found a new life, and the only way to get that new life was to get rid of the old life. And I think that you killed these girls before their mom came home, and then killed Shanann. And that's what we're kind of left, that's what we have to believe, because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, to her point, if I walked in and my kid was decapitated, I'd call an ambulance, right? So
knowing there's no hope.
It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. So either you're this monster who says, I just want this young, hot girlfriend, so I'm going to kill everyone and hope it works out, or something. So I think we're very, very close to the truth, but not quite there yet. So if you're not that monster.
I'm not a monster. I didn't kill my babies.
Okay. So, tell us what actually happened.
I told you what happened.
I know, but, you know, we're getting later into the day. We've done this a few times, and we talk, then we show you a little bit of what we're working with, some evidence and facts that we know, and then we kind of get our way to the truth. So, truth. Okay.
Everything I told you. Truth.
So what's going to happen when their cause of death comes back to you?
But the girl's not going to.
Okay. You sure?
I'm 100% positive it's not going to come back to me.
Who's it going to come back to?
Chanel was on top of Cece.
Okay.
What do you want me to say?
I just want the truth.
That is the truth.
And then what about Bella?
Bella was laid out, sprawled on her bed.
Okay.
And I saw Chanel on top of Cece, so I ran in there.
Okay. And what happens when a coroner looks and says, sees your fingerprints on their neck?
It's not going to be my fingerprints.
Okay. What is it going to be?
It's going to be Chanel.
Are you sure? Well, we don't know about Bella, right?
We don't know about Bella. It's just, I didn't see Chanel on top of her head.
Okay.
That's the commotion I heard upstairs, yeah, I'm assuming.
Okay. Why take their bodies out of the house and bury them?
I was scared. I didn't know what else to do.
Okay.
Nothing was gonna, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know what to do.
Scared of what?
Scared of what everything was gonna look like. My two babies were gone,
Mm-hmm.
and I just did that to my wife. And I was the only one left in the house. What do you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah. It did look bad, right?
And this was a nightmare.
Yeah. Okay.
So you think there's any problems that you've had with Shanann? At the end of the day, she seemed like she was a pretty good mom, right?
I was a pretty good dad as well. You never really know a person until you don't know a person.
Yesterday when you were talking, and again, this is before we kind of got to this moment today, you mentioned that we were talking, you said, I don't know where they are, and then you said something along the lines of, whatever happened to them, this act of pure evil. What does that mean?
It's just the evil that I saw when I walked behind Shanann and she was on top of CC. And I felt evil for what I did to Shanann.
Okay.
Ez a kihallgatás ékes bizonyítéka volt annak, hogy a mentális kimerültség miként képes átrendezni egy ember kognitív képességeit. A gyanúsított a sikertelen poligráf ellenére is kitartott ártatlansága mellett, és ha ezt az álláspontját megőrizte volna, legalább még egy éjszakára szabad emberként távozhatott volna a rendőrségről. Azonban a hosszantartó elszigeteltség, a szorongás és a félelem, valamint a kihallgatók pszichológiai befolyásoló taktikái végül megtették a hatásukat. Ebben az állapotban a helyzetből való kikerülés megkönnyebbülése akkora luxusnak tűnt, hogy a szabadságát is hajlandó volt feláldozni érte. Chris Watts személyiségjegyeit pszichológiai és pszichiátriai szempontból elemezve több olyan vonás figyelhető meg, amelyek bizonyos személyiségzavarokra vagy maladaptív viselkedési mintákra utalhatnak, bár hivatalos diagnózist soha nem kapott. A következő jellemzők figyelhetőek meg nála. Narcisztikus vonások például. Watsnak láthatóan nagy szüksége volt mások elismerésére és csodálatára, különösen a szeretője részéről. Ez a késztetés hajtotta őt, miközben kettős életet él. A tény, hogy szerető családapának mutatta magát, miközben hazugságokat szőtt, grandiózus és önző hajlamokra utal. Megfigyelhető nála többek között patológiás hazudozás is. Folyamatosan hazudott a feleségének, a szeretőjének, a nyomozóknak és a nyilvánosságnak. Képes volt higgadtan és következetesen fenntartani a hazugságait, ami manipulatív természetre utal. Empátia hiány is megfigyelhető nála, a terhes felesége és a két kislánya meggyilkolása szélsőséges érzelmi közönyről tanúskodik. Az a tény, hogy a gyilkosságok után hétköznapi módon viselkedett, például üzeneteket írt a szeretőjének és munkába ment, azt mutatja, hogy nem érezte át tetteinek a súlyát. Pszichopátiás vonások ugyancsak megfigyelhetőek nála. Bár nem diagnosztizálták, számos pszichopátiás jegyet mutatott. Felszínes báj, érzelmi távolságtartás, valódi megbánás hiánya. A média előtti megszólalásai során feltűnő volt, hogy milyen nyugodtnak és érzelemmentesnek tűn. Kognitív diszonancia és kompartmentalizáció tekintetében Watts képes volt elválasztani az érzelmeit a tetteitől, így folytatta a normális életét, mintha semmi sem történt volna. Ez a képesség arra utal, hogy erőteljesen tudja elfojtani a bűntudatot, ami az antiszociális személyiségvonásokra jellemző. Chrisnél megfigyelhettünk kerülő és passzív viselkedést is. Nem volt konfrontatív személyiség, inkább elkerülte a konfliktusokat és passzív-agresszív módon kezelte a helyzeteket. Ahelyett, hogy vállóperrel szabadult volna meg a házasságából, a lehető legszélsőségesebb megoldást választotta. Ami ugyancsak szembetűnő volt Chris viselkedésével kapcsolatban, a megfelelési kényszer és az alacsony önértékelés. Barátai és családtagjai úgy írták le, mint aki mindenkinek próbált megfelelni, miközben saját vágyait és érzéseit elnyomta. Ez az elfojtott feszültség és belső frusztráció végül robbanásszerű cselekedetekhez vezetett. Chrisnél megfigyelhető volt a disszociáció és az érzelmi zsibbadtság is. Egyes szakértők szerint Watts tettei közben teljesen leválhatott az érzelmeiről, mintha automata üzemmódban cselekedett volna. A vallomása során mutatott robotikus reakciói azt sugallják, hogy pszichológiai védekezésként teljesen eltompította magát érzelmileg. Bár ezek a jegyek átfedést mutatnak a narcisztikus személyiségzavarral vagy a pszichopátiával, fontos megjegyezni, hogy Chris Wattsot soha nem vetették alá hivatalos pszichiátriai vizsgálatnak. Azonban a tettei és a viselkedése egy olyan személyre utalnak, aki súlyos érzelmi leválást, manipulációs hajlamokat és külső megerősítés iránti kényszert mutatott.
So you put Shanann in the truck and then you put the two girls in the truck? Were they just sitting in their car seats or I guess they didn't probably have car seats in your truck, did they?
I was sitting in the back with the, like in that bench.
So Shanann was back there too?
On the floor.
What did they say about Shanann being on the floor?
I'll be okay.
What did you tell them?
She'll be fine.
Did you have their stuff with them? Like their toys and their blankets and stuff?
They had something with them that they carried. One of them, I think, at CCM, but had like a blanket or something with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like a pink blanket or...
What about the dog? I think one of them had a dog, right? That talked or dog.
Yeah, one of them had like a little barking dog.
Was that with you too? Do you know?
I think it was. It's hard to remember. Like if they had like big blanket, small blanket.
So, I think I saw on the video that you put a gas can or something in the back of your truck. Is that right? Did you have different plans? When did you put that in there?
I don't know what was going through my head. I feel like I could just get rid of myself at the same time if I was doing all this, honestly.
Yeah.
Did you think about that?
What'd you think about that?
I didn't feel like I deserved to live after what had happened.
Was there any thought to the whole family going away that day, to include you?
After everything happened, I definitely thought.
Yeah. See, it's interesting to me. We had all kind of wondered if there was a point when you were all together, and if you were all going to pass together. That to me makes
makes sense, because that's, even though it sounds crazy, that's what a family man does, right?
Family man doesn't do what he did.
No, I know. I guess what I mean is, it seems like you guys were gonna be together forever in that way. Is that maybe what both of you did?
Honestly, I just felt like I didn't deserve to live.
Yeah.
And it was like, whatever judgment I was gonna come upon myself, I just didn't deserve to be on this earth anymore. What happened? Honestly, like I try to picture that whole ride, like it's like 45 minutes to an hour ride out there. And it's just like, couldn't I have like saved my girl's life? Couldn't I have done something? Why did I do it? I don't know.
Right.
Like this is my flesh and blood. This is like what I wanted all my life, was to be a dad and just to have, kids, and they love me, they, all that, and it just nothing made sense.
Right.
Like the whole time, nothing made sense. I'm just like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. So what happened when you got up there?
I took Shanann out just to a place off to the site.
Mm-hmm.
And then
What were the girls doing when you were doing that?
just sent them back to the truck.
And then what happened after that?
The girls just go in the truck.
Okay.
Did they ask you what you were doing, taking mommy out, or?
Yeah, I don't remember what I told them, but they did ask that.
What they say specifically?
It was more of like, what are you doing to mommy?
Okay. Alright. And then the girls, right? Okay. You mentioned Bella was first. Cece's first, okay. Where exactly was she when it happened?
In the backseat.
Okay, was she just right next to Bella?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so once again, was it a hand over her face? Was it?
There was a blanket over and my hand.
Under your hand? Okay. And so that just stopped her from breathing type thing? Okay. Did she struggle at all?
I don't think so, but I was blocking her face, my hand was right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
You had one hand here and one hand over her mouth?
And were you just pushing her against the back of the seat type thing? Okay. What was Bella doing?
Just sitting there next to her, she didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Could she see you? Okay. Tell me about what you were thinking.
I was thinking it's what happened.
Yeah.
Or any partial hint of what I feel for those girls and what I feel for my wife, but none of this would have happened. I wasn't thinking.
Okay. So she's in the back seat. Okay. And then once she's gone, then is it Bella next, or did you pull Cece out?
I pulled these out.
Okay, so once Cece's gone, Bella's still there in the car alive, and then you pulled Cece out. What'd you do with her? Okay. So she went into the tank, and Bella was still in the back of the truck alive. Okay. With regard to that tank, did you bring up Cece, put her down, open the hatch?
Brought her up, opened the hatch.
And put her in. Okay. And then went down to Bella. Tell me what happened there.
She said, what happened to Cece? First, she asked, it was the same thing. The exact same thing that happened to me as Cece.
Did she ask her that? Okay. So Bella's pretty smart. How does she sound when she asks you that question?
She had just that soft voice she always had.
And what exactly did she say?
She said that it's the same thing that happened to me as Cece. And then I said, I don't even remember what I said.
Okay.
I don't know if I just said yes, like a horrible person, or if I just put that blanket over her too and did the same thing.
Same blanket, same way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She said, no, Daddy. That's the last thing she said.
2018. november 6-án Watts egy vádalkú részeként bűnösnek vallotta magát több rendbeli elsőfokú gyilkosság vágyában, amelynek során az ítéletből eltávolították a halálbüntetést, amit később ugyan 2020-ban eltöröltek Colorádóban. 5 életfogytiglani börtönbüntetésre ítélték a feltételes szabadlábra helyezés lehetősége nélkül.